I hope you guys got your popcorn ready because I have a great series for you. This best of 3 in the finals of the GO4Heroes Tournament is gonna blow your mind, I can promise you that much. Game number 1, already a highlight. MadCorps, the French team, is going up against Team Arthas, the Russians that we've seen taking out several teams by now. And the first draft is just unbelievable. Blackheart's Bay is the map and we are seeing Abathur being played. Abathur together with Anubarak for the Russians here. And they have a double healer comp with this, with the potential for Bloodlust since they're also running Rhaegar. On the other hand then, the French team with Illidan and with Lily as the healer, since they couldn't really rely on any other healer in this game. And this game is just the beginning. It's a whole best of 3 series that we are having now. And we're going to jump into the first game. So guys, get ready because this is going to be great. Blackheart's Bay, map number 1 between MadCorps and Team Arthas.
First game of the finals, ladies and gentlemen. It is on Blackheart's Bay, Team Arthas versus MadCorps versus MadCorps. And this is actually like a very, very cool game because we have great compositions from both of them. Kunichan for Arthas, for the Russian team, is on Rhaegar. We have Unstable on Vala, Stalk on Anubarak. We're seeing Sevka on Uther and Andy Landy on Abathur. It is an Abathur game that we're seeing here. Starting to the right side of the map, we're having Jellic on Zagara, STK on Lily, JPL on Illidan, Yuki on Diablo, and Lolini on Tassadar. So as you can already see, in this case, we're having not only an Abathur in the game, but also a Lily, and this is going to be a fun match. It's not only great that we are seeing Blackheart's Bay being the map here, but actually we're seeing a lot more than that. So in this case, we're having Stalk, Sevka, already rotating through the map up at the bot lane. It is Zagara as already expecting going for that solo lane here. She has a lot of power that she can use to just put people in there. And at this case we have Andy Landy also on the bottom lane together with the Zagara to help out for that. So up at the top lane, that's where most of the action is currently happening. Of course the first chest is going to spawn pretty soon at 50 seconds in game. That's why a lot of teams start rotating to the top lane first, trying to get that wave out of the way and then concentrate fully on the mid lane with that chest, and that's where they are already. Sevka moves in against Diablo. We're having Vala with an interesting combo. Actually, like, we're having very interesting talents here. I'm loving it already. This is a great game, boys. Very unorthodox styles. Sevka getting stunned in this case, but oh god, there's just way too much happening. 3 coins ending up in the hands of Diablo. At the bottom lane we have Kunichan and Unstable gathering most of them up, so at least over here the Russian team was able to get a lot of them. But let's focus a bit on those talents that we've been talking about. Zagara was taken out at the bot lane, so we have a 1-for-1 in this case. And as you can see here, it is right now on Abathur going to be the pressurized glance. Usually Abathur is being played these days not really as a push hero as he was in the last few patches, but instead he is being played more as a support for a hero like Illidan. And in this case, we don't have Illidan on the side of the Russian team, but they have, with Anubarak, another hero that really likes to go deep. Anubarak over here already with Tassadar. Vala going for a Siphoning Arrow build, not going for a multi-shot build. And we're having, in this case, Uther going for Blessed Champion with the additional heals when you attack allies. So this is actually going to be a really interesting one, since we usually don't see that. Especially on a map where you have small pirate camps that also drop a health globe. You normally see Conjurer's Pursuit, but that's not the case here. We're having now on level 4 also for the team taken MadCorps for Vala. So it's really going to be that right-click build with most likely searing attacks on level 7. We're having Lily with a damage build going for the Serpent build that we've seen already used by players like Ace of Spades for Team Fnatic, doing very well with that. And at the same time, it is in the case of the rest of the heroes for the French team pretty much the standard that you would expect, going for the normal Illidan build, the Illidan comp here relying on Lily in general. And of course the issue that they had going into the game was that their opponent took 2 of the healers away that they really were trying to rely upon, Rhaegar and Uther. So with those 2 taken, there's very little choice that you have in this case. And right now they decided to go Lily, which is actually an interesting choice, and one of those choices that we've talked about in the past. It's not a bad one. People react to Lily these days like she's the worst hero in the game, but that build that we've seen here is a solid one, and as I said earlier, Fnatic used it. Right now Kunichan is being stunned out, and oh my god, like even with Abathur he's going to be in some trouble. Kunichan getting away thanks to the wolf form right now. 6-6, the levels 1 kill against 1. I really like it, but oh my god, Zagara moved in. Kuni-chan is trying to run and heal. There's the healing ward as well. He's getting away, isn't he? Yes, he gets away. Unbelievable. That escape in the last second, healing himself up. Andy Landy going for Adrenal Overload, which is one of those big talents that we see on the hero. It's like the normal build right now on Arthas. And of course, when I say normal at this point, it's not really something that you see every day, but as LDLC played them the last time, they ran an Illidan comp and they were also going for the same build that we're so far seeing on Arthas here. Again, I want to mention that Illidan is not actually playing for the Russian team, but on the opposite side. But of course, with that Anubarak, you have just one of those frontliners that likes to go deep and where you can really utilize all that power that Arthas really brings to the table. We're having with the level 7 talents now the full Serpent build unfolding in front of us on Lily. Also, we're having Zagara with battle momentum. Not really the normal choice that you see there. Vala taken out, so the blue team just lost another one. The French are going straight for those Russian heroes, and Kuni-chan might be their next victim, but nice juke there against Illidan. But of course, with that earlier Ghost Ship Barrage that they had, the fort in the mid lane is extremely low, and there is currently no mule for the Russians. We have a mule on the side of Tassadar, so they are really valuing the experience on their structures more than the extra damage that you would get with a static charge. That is the usual talent for Tassadar, whereas you can inflict critical damage to targets that were hit by a storm. To the bot lane, it is still Jellic trying to get the damage in with his Zagara. Keep in mind that Arthas himself can only soak experience with his body and with his symbiote, or if he gets a direct kill. So he needs to really just jump through all of those lanes to soak XP. And you can already see on the board up at the top that with level 10 now hitting, there is a lead in experience for the French team. Unstable is trying to collect a few of the coins. Diablo was doing the same thing to the bottom right. A lot of things to keep track on right now. Both of the teams very, very active on the map, and I'm absolutely loving it. We're having Apocalypse taken on Diablo. There's also now for Lily the Jug of 1,000 Cups taken. We don't see an ult yet for Zagara, but more would be the normal choice, and there it is, taking more already. Chests appearing again, but of course there is the presence of the French team at the bottom lane. And that could lead us into the Russians going for the top lane here. Arthas is trying to move in. Stalk is there, but already a few of the coins taken. Yes, STK with his Lily is doing a lot of work. Nice web though, and that is an option. He can go for the stun now. The rest of the team not rotating in just yet, and where's that stun? Oh, very well done, and Lily is being dropped here. A nice combo that we saw, especially of course with that Rain of Vengeance hitting hard. Bloodlust taken on Rega, and I'm loving that. We're having Bloodlust taken a bit more often these days if you manage to go for one of those double healer comps, and in this case it is Bloodlust. They have even more support than that. They're looking at the monstrosity on a level 10 for Arthas. Arthas support and then a double healer lineup, and that runs of course extremely well with something like Bloodlust, especially since we're having for Vala the build taken where she also goes for battle momentum, so in this case this is really working well. Searing attacks would have given her a bit more DPS, but with the battle momentum you can just get your skills out a bit faster, and of course that also synergizes quite well with the Bloodlust in itself. Over here, 4-man rotation, Arthas can jump in. There's the answer immediately. The problem for the team is that down to the bot lane we see Zagara just like pushing hard. She's one of the strongest heroes when it comes to the pushing power, and that's exactly what they're currently going for. Andy Landy is still there with his Avatar, basically fearless. I mean, that he is so close to where Zagara was present the entire time is quite something. Level 13 talents are going to hit for both of them very soon, and we have 2 kills for each team. So there comes Rega with his lightning shield, moves in to help out Sefka and get the next set of coins. A lot of coins for both of the teams, and both of them were able to get one of the forts out of the equation. Actually, like in the case of the Russians, it's by now 2 forts. They took the one up at the top as well, with Zagara pushing the bot lane. Camps taken for both of them, and a lot of coins available right now. With the 13 talents, we have Feral Lunge on Rega. We're also seeing Giant Killer. We're having, in this case, Burning Rage again taken as a 13 talent on an Overrock. And for Abathar, it is Soma transference. Oh, immediately the move by Lily with a heal. Zagara goes down before they can change anything, though. Very good Apocalypse, but only stunning 2 of the heroes. And in case of stalking, it didn't even matter. Abathar is, of course, lending its strength to the fight as well. It's still a 4 versus 4. With Abathar, a 5 versus 4. And they are going in with a stun. Illidan is moving away in the last second, but here comes Stork trying to initiate again. He has 9 coins. Sefka is so low. He's trying to take Diablo out. Diablo jumping away, dying. He'll be back in no time. Illidan, on the other hand, he will be dead for 35 seconds. Diablo actually also down for 24 more. And all those coins ending up in the hands of the French team regardless, because they lost not only Vala but also Uther and Rhaegar. 16 coins. Stork has 9. He's trying to stun them out. With Abathar, he can at least do some damage, but the problem is still that he is very much alone. Abathar alone is just not enough to help him out. Yeah, he needs somebody else. He needs an actually body present in this case. 16 coins on STK, and he's turning them in. It looked very good at the beginning for the Russian team in this fight, but then things started to turn around. Diablo himself just staying alive for so damn long and just surviving. And of course, also in that very limited space, the Apocalypse was a great ult. Not only because of the heroes that were stunned, but also because it forced everybody else to try and rush away. The double shrink ray that we're having did definitely not hurt either, and those giant killers there as well. Let's have a bit of a look at the damage that was dished out so far by both of the teams. The top damage actually on the side of the French team was by Tassadar. Tassadar with 14,000, which is really impressive. If you look at Vala with 16,000 and Nubarok on 13,000, that is a lot that they have here. But when it comes down to the single target damage that they're using, it seems like the French team is just getting the better end of those fights. Currently, we're seeing at the bot lane, yeah, we have 5 of those heroes starting to move up to the top. I think they already realized the boss is about to be taken, but they are too late to change that. We're having level 16 hitting a bit faster for the Russian team in this case. And this is a very, very cool game that we're watching right now. God, I love the Abathar. I love the Lily in here. The Diablo is doing work in a Nuburak. One of the favorite heroes for the Russians is just amazing. Arthas is doing a great job. MadCorps, on the other hand, they are, of course, also looking at a very, very solid game so far. But those 16 talents, they are gonna give them some trouble. And the reason is quite simple. Triple blood for blood. Illidan is going to take a blood for blood as well, I guess, and there it is. So they are going to at least have one to counter that. But with a triple blood for blood, those tanks are going to be in trouble. And Illidan himself, of course, as well, since he's going to be one of the priority targets for the team. Monstrosity at the bot lane is lending its strength to the push. We're having, besides the imposing presence, also the adrenaline boost taken. And they are already moving back. If they get the turn-in, that would be great for them. Then it would at least have like one turn-in available. 16 versus 16. The kill count still 5 kills against 5. So very, very even in this. We're having also at the same time, Yuki, everybody jumping in there. Uh-oh, Kuni-chan, what is he doing there? Arthas is trying to help him out. They get the turn in at least, but the healer is dead and now they need to run, and they need to run fast. Sefka is activating sprint and everybody else is running away too, so they're getting away. It's a kill and they were able to get at least they were able to get the turn in. That was important. That was really important here right now. He sacrificed his life for the turn-in. He could have tried to escape there, but he was caught out, so it could have been a lot worse. If they get captured, like if they get like trapped and have to fight, they could have been absolutely devastating. They're still moving down to the bot. A bit of an interesting move there. Oh my god, they run straight into Tassadar. He gets stunned and attacked, already uses his dimensional shift and tears the fight. They go into a 4 versus 5. I can't believe it. They actually go into that. What a great move with the Maw and that Apocalypse. Vala is down. That was amazing. The timing was perfect for the French team. There was an incredible timing for them using the Apocalypse with it. And they were able to make that happen without a single second of delay. So suddenly we have Stork moving back. Once again, they are playing 4 versus 5. I don't understand why they moved in, to be honest with you. I mean, yes, they realized the bot camp is taken, the bruiser camp is being attacked, but chances of them taking down a 5-man team with only 4 heroes are slim to none. And that gave now their opponents an easy turn in again, and all that pushing presence at the bot lane. So a bit of a surprise there. In terms of experience, nothing is lost yet. Vala will be back in 9 seconds, and that should help them to maybe push that wave back and save their keep. but they are definitely struggling here. We have Arthas at the top. He's always trying to be out on the lane to soak some experience with his body. We're having 18 versus 18 talents, and I mean the damage that is coming through is now especially on Tassadar and on Arthas extremely strong. Vala is not getting so much damage in as she usually does, and the reason is, of course, very transparent right now. With Vala going for a right-click build, she doesn't do that area of effect damage anymore. That just increases her numbers incredibly and kind of artificially as well. But we're having her with more damage against a single target, which is in these games oftentimes the more important part, but the numbers don't look that high anymore. So that's always something to take into consideration. Have very different styles of Vala being played here, but in this case right now, the right side is being attacked again. We had the rotation to the top lane, where at least the monstrosity is taken out, and that is of course always a constant danger to the French team. They need to make sure that Arthas is not able to get all of that damage in, because his siege damage in general, I mean, we can highlight that again, is pretty impressive. 100,000 siege damage already. Compare that to Zagara's 83,000. Arthas might not be that pushy hero anymore that he once was, but he's definitely nobody to frown upon, because he can do some solid work in those cases. The trap down here at the bottom, that didn't really work, but it was not only an attempted trap, but at the same time also the idea of capturing that camp as soon as they could get the chance to do that. We're having the French team resorting to just simply stealing the Bruiser camp in this case. So once again the rotation here, Sefka, Kunichan and Unstable are already in position. They're welcoming that camp and taking it down. Arthas is trying to probably push in the bot lane right now and get some solid damage in there. Well, he doesn't even have to, as Lolini is trying to take care of the siege giants that are in position. That mule, of course, is another thing that I want to highlight once again. We've talked about those talents earlier, but on a map where the objectives attack your structures directly, mule is a great talent to have. Yes, we could have seen a bit more damage on Tassadar if he would have gone for the static charge, but at the same time that mule can really save lives and games. The top lane boss is going to be back in 8 seconds, and so far we are still seeing heroes at the bot lane. They know about Zagara being positioned here. The chests have spawned. Question is, do you take boss or do you take chests? And they go for boss instead. They go for the boss and lead in experience currently for the French team, and Arthas, they are going straight up to the top to take the boss, and they won't be contested here. But the turn-in is going to happen in just a few seconds. It's an expensive turn-in though. It's a very expensive one, but they should get another barrage, and with the keep already fallen victim to the earlier push, we're having now the top and the bot lane kind of exposed. The counter pressure is there, and they're trying to move straight in for that, but it looks really like they can get the turn-in and just move back again. That's exactly the amount of coins that they need, and this is not going to drop the top key, but it's going to expose it and do a lot of damage there. Level 19 versus level 19. Boss is barreling down on the top lane, and they are rotating up to the mid, try to get not only a tower but also a keep there. A very difficult situation now for the French team, and how are they going to deal with it? Zagara is moving in, and it's just all about the 20 now. It's really about the 20. Mule sacrificed for the mid lane, as they are able to stop the top lane, at least for now. Only the wall breach, nothing else. Level 20 for both of them, with the Nexus Frenzy on Vala. The right-click damage is really benefiting a lot from this, and we're having Bloodlust now, even with a Gladiator's Washout. So, yeah, very well done. Can also be cast now without breaking the wolf form, which I think is one of the most important things for Rhaegar in this case. We're having Divine Hurricane, Hardened Shield, and the Hive Mind being used. And on the other hand, it is Kung Fu Hustle for Lily. Doesn't really surprise me to see that here. Nexus Blades on Illidan, even more chase potential for him, with the Twilight Archon on Tassadar and the Blink on not only Zagara but also on Diablo. Great game so far. I mean, extremely cool match that we see here. Maybe not as many team fights as we would have hoped for, but from a tactical point of view and from strategies, you can really see how this collides. The team fight potential that we have on the side of MadCorps, using more as a setup for Apocalypse. Then again, having the entire time the Russian team trying to push in the lanes with their Arthas doing the damage here, already using that double healer comp to really generate a lot. And oh, there it is again! Where is that Apocalypse? There it is, and a perfect stun, but a nice stun by Uther as well to try and make sure that they can't rush in like this. Once again, we have Bloodlust being used. Kunichan goes down, but so does Illidan. Illidan is dead. Sefka is about to die though, and Unstable is being pushed back again. Uther dead, but his ghost can still do some work. Unstable is trying to rush away here, but just way too much more momentum for MadCorps. Even without the Bloodlust, it feels like they are the ones using it and not Team Arthas. Abathur himself just is not able to do too much work here, and suddenly they're rotating towards the mid lane. At the top, we're having a big wave coming in, threatening the top keep, and this alone is extremely dangerous towards the keep itself, but this is not the only danger. In the mid lane, that's the bigger threat. That's where we are having the French team moving in with 10 kills against 6. They're in a great spot here. Lily still has enough mana to go for the heals, and just look at the healing numbers that she put out there. 30,000 so far in the game. They're going for it. Stork is low. He needs to get away somehow. Monstrosity is there. Can they survive for another 10 to 16 seconds to give Rhaegar a chance to move in now as well? It does look unlikely. Here comes the attack against the core, and with the catapults now joining the fun as well, it is looking brutal. Yeah, Kuni-chan with a feral lunge. He wants to take down Diablo, and they might be able to get that, but can they kill the rest of them? Zagara alone with too much damage, and this is the start. No, they're getting 1, they're getting 2, and they're getting all of them, but the catapults are there, and the kill. It's game, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1 ends in favor of MadCorps, winning the match on Blackheart's Bay against Team Arthas.
A great first game between those two teams in the best of 3 series here, and the French team, they take it. MadCorps takes down Team Arthas in the first round on the first map. Blackheart Bay ends in their favor, and now we're going into map number 2. It is Cursed Hollow, and once again those two are going up against each other, and we have a really interesting comp, especially for MadCorps, running not only with the Sergeant Hammer but also with the Zagara. A lot of pushing power, and Diablo, a hero that they chose in this particular game right now, gives them a lot of options actually with their Apocalypse that they could be using here. So this game is going to be a good one. Now, of course, keep in mind that if Arthas loses one more map, then they are out, and MadCorps wins the entire final with a 2-0 without even dropping a map in the tournament. So we're going to jump into game number 2, try and find out if they can accomplish that, or if it is going to be Team Arthas winning the map and forcing out map number 3 in the best of 3 series.
Game number 2 at the GO4Heroes Tournament, ladies and gentlemen. We have the final approaching, or well, actually this is the second game of the final. The first game ended in favor of the French team of MadCorps, starting to the right side of the map in red. To the left side we have the Russians. It is Team Arthas with Kuni-chan on Rhaegar, Andilendi on Zebo, Stork on Nubarak, Unstable on Vala, and Sefka on Tyrande. He was one of my favorite Vala players in the early alpha, and he's still one of my favorite DPS players here for range DPS, and his Tyrande is pretty sick as well, as we could already see in a few games today. To the right side of the map, it is the French team with Jelek on Zagara. We have JPL on Tacita, STK on Uther, Lolini on Sergeant Hammer, and Yuki on Diablo. So going into the game, let's have a look at the talents. Let's see if we see anything out of the ordinary here. And so far it looks actually pretty normal, with the Rangers mark taken on Tyrande for Sefka as his level 1 talent. So we're going to see him go straight into those Lunar Flare talents then later on in the game, and not trying to utilize the Ranger on 16 since he doesn't go for a piercing build. But we're having more of a normal Vala build in this case. Vala being played now by the Russian team again, and they're not going for the right-click build, but more for the DPS build where you try and utilize, of course, multi-shot. In the mid lane, it is that tri lane once more. There's JPL, who has still a lot of power where he can push back a team thanks to the Storm, of course. The bot tri lane is not even contested, and that is something that we see a lot more these days. If you have a Sergeant Hammer on one of the lanes, back in the days it was always like the everybody just said, like, alright, if you have a Sergeant Hammer on one of the lanes, you need to rotate with 2 or 3 of the heroes over there, and you need to make sure that you face the tri lane with the tri lane. That's not really the case anymore. You still see that on maps like Dragonshire, but for a very different reason, because the lower lane on Dragonshire just gives you access to 2 of the bruiser camp, or to 1 siege giant camp and a bruiser camp. Up to the top lane, by the way, Jelek was able to take down one of the heroes. Interesting, like, that was a bit unexpected. But yeah, so an early kill already for the French team. But to finish my thought process there, these days what you try to do against the tri lane with the Sergeant Hammer is just like to out-push it, and that is not as difficult as it sounds at first if you pick your lane right. Wow! Up at the top, another kill. Sefka took down Zagara. These guys making me look bad here. Usually it's the tri lane with the hammer where most of the action is happening. In this case, this is not the case. So we are having 1 kill for each of the teams, level 4 versus level 4. The mid lane is heavily assaulted. by Unstable and Kunichan. What's happening here is another split. It's actually not 1-1-3 that they are playing. They are playing with 2 heroes at the top and 2 heroes in the mid lane and trying to pressure both, since they know that there's only going to be 1 hero defending. Jellic this time is dodging the stun. Andilendi is being pushed back already. There's still a lot of creep tumors here around that they haven't been able to take down yet. At the bot lane, Stork is still going up against Yuki and the tri-lane with Hammer. And in this case, it's actually going to be the that is being attacked here. It's not only about the towers, they are going full on out on that. Unstable in the mid lane, trying to pressure at least that damn well to make it more difficult for JPL to actually go in against that. I guess it's going to be saved for now. Bot lane gets some support with Kunichan and Sefka moving in, trying to go for the stun here. Oh, healing ward helping out Anubarak. But so far the well is still up. Well is still up, and we're having down to the bot lane, Stork, Sefka and Kunichan moving in. We're having Lolini, STK and Yuki trying to fight for that tribute too. 3 minutes into the game, the bosses are of course coming up now, and you can really see that both of the teams still have some presence on the mid and top lane, making sure that they get all of the experience here. That level 7 talent should be hitting a bit faster though for the Russian team. I don't think that it will be able to capitalize on it, but yeah, we're gonna see if they might get a lucky kill there. That doesn't really look like it. Actually, like, the talents hit at pretty much the same time. The important thing to note is that we're having Tyrande with that damage build that I touched upon earlier just briefly. We're having on level 4 the Searing Arrows, and that is just Sefka once again trying to bring the DPS. And the stun against Lolini. It looks like he got cleansed out there. Uther saving Sergeant Hammer's ass. Actually, I don't really know if that tank has an ass, but if he had one, it would have been saved by Uther with a cleanse. But this time, the stun, oh my god, that was a close dodge. Yeah, he was able to dodge that out. Top lane, by the way, 2 against 1, Jellic being pushed back. In the mid lane, there is still Tacita, and all the way down to the bot lane, it's currently 3 heroes aiming for their tribute still, but it is actually the French team who are able to get it. So, they are currently getting that tribute there as well, and well, let's see. Kunichan, Sefka are currently still pushing that in. We're having up at the top Unstable, trying to push them back too. And it's just all about the presence on the map right now. Like, both of the teams are trying to just like push them back towards the wall, getting a bit of damage in against the structures, making sure that they're controlling the flow on the lane so that they can rotate back once that they took a wave and maybe just have a quick gank towards the mid or the bot lane. But if you just look at the levels and the talents here, it's really both of them doing an amazing job at keeping the experience up, keeping that heartbeat on the lane, getting the next level. It's all about the level 10s at this point. And there's one of those rotations that I've been talking about. Getting the wave cleared in the middle and then moving straight down to the bottom, trying to capture Lolini, but he was paying attention. The thing is though, he won't be able to do too much against the attempt to drop one of those towers, and that is going to give additional experience to the team in blue. Problematic for them is that the tribute spawns up at the top and they're not even trying to contest it. They're saying, guys, tribute spawns at the worst time, at the worst location. Let's just try and go for the bot lane, take that second tower, try to claim the 10, because we won't be able to just stun that out anyways. Apocalypse already taken together with more Divine Storm, Archon and Napalm, and immediately the rotation towards the boss. And that has been spotted thanks to the owls that we are seeing from Sefka. We're having a rotation. Well, they actually were moving back already to gather up mana and hit points, and that means they won't be able to contest this boss. At least they shouldn't be able to do that. We're having Ancestral Healing being used. It's boss versus boss. That's at least the idea here. With Web being utilized once again on their Anubarak build that they're trying to go for. We're having Battle Momentum on Zagara again with their Venomed Spines and Reconstitution on level 1. So the Zagara build that they've been using in the last game. It's boss versus boss, and both teams are starting to push. This is really like where both of them just try and outpush each other. You can really see how their pushing heroes are being used to help out the boss. Up at the top lane, well, we don't have Zagara in this case, but we're having Diablo being extremely tanky and trying to take that. A tribute is spawning, and this time we need to see a reaction from the Russian team, and I'm very surprised that Kunichan is not rotating. Him not rotating means they cannot fight and they will accept curse. They will accept the curse here, and this is very tricky. Stalk is already there. Lolini, well, I mean, what can they do at this point? Very little. Stalk is being pushed back and he doesn't even commit too much. The only reason why he went there in the first place is that with a burrow strike he could just like move back immediately, and that's what you need to do. The boss at least took down the fort at the bot lane, and they have an experienced lead thanks to especially Kuni-chan doing his work up to the top, and he's trying to do even more than that. But the question of course is, can they really hold the mid lane against the curse and a 5-man push? And that might not be happening here, but with an earlier 13 talent they could have an advantage in the next battle, and that is exactly what Rhaegar is going to try and give them here. But he's already moving back. They're getting that experience in the mid lane still, but that fort is being attacked. One multi-shot after another, stun after another, but they cannot save it, and this is going to give level 13 to the French team. 13 hitting for both of them at roughly the same time. The top lane still with Rhaegar. Rhaegar with Feral Lunge on 13. We're having again Burning Rage. Frost Shot is taken. And of course, Lunar Blaze for Tyrande. Tyrande with a lot of DPS thanks to the Searing Arrows, but so far we haven't seen a lot of 5 versus 5 fights. Here comes Kuni-chan trying to move in and staying outside the range. The web is being used against the Sergeant, and they are attacking the web, which is exactly what you should do. A lot of teams don't even do that. Oh, Sefka gets killed by SDK. He moved in for this one. That was an important kill. Kuni-chan healed, but they drop Uther. Very well done. They lose an Ubarak on the other hand, but they might be able to get a kill on Diablo, and they do. So it's a 2 versus 2 in kills. Kuni-chan is so low, he needs to be extremely careful how he deals with this now. He tries and jumps in, waits for the cooldown, and starts to heal his allies, and it's still level 14 versus 14.5. The Keep suffered a bit of damage, but not too much. It's so much pressure that the French team is able to put up against the Russians here. And that game is absolutely great. Team Arthas with a good spot there. Very nice defense that they had. And yeah, this is going to be a very, very interesting match from here on out. I'm actually really curious to see how this is going to go. Kuni-chan is still gathering up that split experience, and I like that a lot. So let's see how exactly the Russians are trying to put some pressure onto the French team, because right now MadCorps is the one that are always able to just like start the initiative, I want to say. I mean, they're always moving in, they're always trying to capture one of those camps. They're a bit faster on the tributes, they get good position at the bosses and capture them, and they push in the lanes as well. It looks like we're going to see an exchange between the bottom fort and the mid fort. And with one of the heroes still being up at the top, this is probably the most important part. Going to have Andy Landy pushing top lane is going to give them a lead in experience, and they're using that. Both of the teams are aiming for the keeps now. The problem is that we're having down here 5 heroes pushing against only 4. This is getting extremely nasty. Who's going to be faster? There's a Siege Giant camp coming up at the bot lane. They will have to move back. They're going to lose that keep. The keep over here is already being attacked faster. Are they going to go core? Are they going to go full on for the core? The keep is nearly dead over here. It's just now being attacked. There's a Zagara pushing together with a hammer, and they're moving back. The core is being attacked. They're trying to core it. They're actually trying to core it. The first move back, there it is. And there it... Oh my god, can they take that Apocalypse against Andy Landy's ulti? They will never be able to finish the core. Or will they? 40%. This is so damn close. More is already being used. 30% on the core. 2019. Oh my god, they can do it, and they kill it. It's the 1-1. Arthas takes the core. Unbelievable rush at the end of the game, and we're gonna see a third game between the two teams at the GO4Heroes final.
Unbelievable. What a finish. I mean, they just counter push the entire time. It's such an aggressive map already. And then at the end, you just see suddenly the Russians going full ham and trying to push the core. And MadCorps is looking at them as like, what are you guys doing? We have Sergeant Hammer, we have Zagara. Of course we're going to win that battle. And they just keep going, and suddenly they realize, wait a second, what's going on here? They outpush us. They will be able to finish the game if we don't TP back, and they try to do it as fast as they can. But it's already too late. The Russians, they just go for the right click. They drop the core, they win the game, they force map number 3, and they didn't even put a single thought into it. It was amazing. Whoever is shot calling for Team Arthas is a genius. That worked so well for them, and they won the map, and suddenly the series is tied. all of a sudden we're going into game number 3. And game number 3 is not only going to happen on Cursed Hollow again, but once more we are seeing an amazing composition. I'm loving these teams, both of them just not afraid to try new heroes, try new strategies, try new talents, try just completely new approaches to how they are going to win a series here. We're seeing Kerrigan being played in this game right now, and MadCorps versus Arthas, definitely a great final, a series absolutely worthy to be the final, and my mind is already blown. We're going to go into game number 3 and we're going to find out who is going to take it here today at the GO4Heroes Tournament.
Game number 3 is live here at the GO4Heroes Tournament. At the final, we are having once more Team Arthas going up against MadCorps. The French against the Russian. This is going to be a great one. We already had Cursed Hollow once today, and the score is 1-1. This is the last map, the final map, the map that matters. And to the left side in blue, once again, it is the Russian team. We have Arthas with Kunichan on Uther, Anilendi on Azebo, Unstable on Tychus, Stalk on Diablo, and Sefkaja on Tyrande. To the right side of the map, it is their counterpart, Jellic on Stitches, Lolini on Tassadar, JPL on Vala, Yuki on Karidan, and STK on Rhaegar. Going into this game, we have a very, very different draft so far. Both teams have been able to surprise more than once, and boy, that finish of the last game was absolutely crazy. I mean, that was quite something. Out pushing somebody that runs a Sergeant Hammer and Zagara, that is not an easy feat to accomplish. Right now we have a Kerrigan in the team and not in the game, and that alone is already amazing. In the mid lane, Sefka, Kunichan and Unstable are going up against Lolino and his Tassadar. Up here at the top, Anilendi is the one who has to be very careful, because one hook and then Kerrigan jumping in with her stuns is usually the end of you. And they know that there's somewhere. There is actually a bit of a rotation happening. Oh, there comes the stun, and Andy is... Ooh, he's juking them out! He's actually getting the jukes and he survives for now, and they get the counter kill, and oh my god, what a play. What a play by the Russian team. Can they get a second kill? They're trying. Oh, just barely. A bit of a miscommunication between Unstable and Sefka. The grenade hits and pushes the good old Stitches out of Sefka's stun. But I love the jukes that we saw there. The Zebo realizing that there was no escape towards the gate and instead just ran into the opposite direction and was like, guys, help me. Boys, I need help here. Oh my god, so does Uther. And Andy, look at these plays. 2 kills against 2. This is like a fist fight. These teams are like 2 boxers in a ring just going for it. No defense whatsoever. Just like slugging it out. And especially the top lane is the one where they're going straight for it. Absolutely amazing game here so far. I love this start. This is worthy of a 3rd game already. Level 4 versus level 4. And at this point, all strategy went out the window. At least that's how it seems. It's just like both of them just going full ham. At the bot lane, Stork and SDK, the only 2 heroes that were not involved in the fun just yet. I heard that Diablo is actually one of those boys that doesn't really have a good sense of humor, so I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure how the Wolf is going to think about that, but yeah. We're having right now for 2 heroes Amplified Healing taken, once for Stitches with a Chew Your Food on level 1, and we're seeing the same taken for Diablo, who went not for the Soul Feast, interestingly enough. Very interesting to not see him go for that. Block over Soul Feast. I don't think I've seen that yet. Very interesting choice here. I have to admit that it surprises me a bit. Gathering Power on level 4. We're having, oh my god, a Rancor build on Vala with a Manticore chosen as well. Full on damage. Full on damage for MadCorps. Right click damage, maybe even with the Searing attack. That's going to be an interesting one. Searing attack, or is he going for the Battle Momentum, which has also great synergy with the level 1 talent that he chose. That is going to be a very, very interesting build, especially since level 20 could give us Nexus Frenzy and then an insane amount of damage of those right clicks. Vala will need a lot of support in these fights, and with the Kerrigan, they have something that can really disrupt the entire flow of the Russian team and therefore give Vala some space. At the top lane, Vala is doing her thing. JPL is going to move in and is trying to just drop another one. Anilendi is there. Oh, and eats quite a lot of shots here. A lot of damage dished out already. The bot lane, that's where we're having a Siege Giant camp now pushing the lane in as well. We're having level 7s hit for both of the teams. Actually, at this point, it's only one of them. Unstable is in a very bad spot here. Yeah, he won't escape from this position, but he... Oh, what? He gets away with another dash, gets just barely out of that. JPL nearly died right. Oh my god. That was great. He actually survives that. Those heals and shields keeping him alive. Battle momentum chosen by two of the heroes, Kerrigan and Vala, taking battle momentum over the potential searing attacks. We're having Tenderizer taken on Stitches here. And this game, I mean, the plays, like, holy crap. I'm loving this series. Hardcam taken now, and we're seeing instead of Gitbin Clairvoyance on Nazebo. Another tribute on the map. Both of the teams, they are so evenly matched right now. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. It is a pleasure to watch them here. I'm having, in this case, no damage build on Sefkaj's Tyrande. Instead, going straight for Healing Ward and also True Shot Aura. Lolini with a vision. He sees what's going on here up at the top. We're having J. Palek going straight for the tribute, but he can't capture it out. He can't capture it. Everybody's rotating over there. Well, actually, Nazebo is waiting a bit because he realizes that he's going to be in a bad spot, but Yuki is there too, moving in. Oh, and running straight into Kerrigan. He runs straight into Kerrigan, but he survives. Chelek! Oh, what? He survives too, gets into the range of the Healing Ward, and suddenly it looks like Andy Landy is going to be the first victim regardless. No, he's not. How on God's green earth did he get away? Oh, dropped as does Kerrigan. These teams are amazing. The grenade just hitting Vala, or not even, I mean, she just barely got outside of the range apparently, but what is he doing? Stitches with a death wish, suicides into 4. I think he didn't see the heroes towards the left side in the bush, and that's why he thought he had a chance there. Moves in and gets taken out. How on earth did Nazebo actually survive that? Did he get hooked by Stitches and moved away there in the last second? However he did it, I saw him like that 5 times over. He died in the end, but not before he forced the opponent to focus him down several times there. Level 10 talents now. Apocalypse, Commandeer Odin. We're having the Annihilating the Ravenous Spirit first of all. And of course the Divine Storm, and I guess Starfall is going to be the talent of choice on Sefkaj's Tyrande. And there it is. Yuki on Kerrigan. Oh, the Ultralisk. Yeah, Fnatic calls it the dog. I don't know why, but I find it very disrespectful to the actual Ultralisk of StarCraft 2. So the Ultralisk is gonna go in. Oh my! Stalk in the range of the fort, blocked, and there is no escaping this one. Nope, Diablo dying, and Kuni-chan, they do not get the hook in. J. Pelagon and Stitches didn't get the cooldown ready in time. So we're having another kill, this time against Diablo, and well, with the timing that we see that happen, this could lead to a tribute for MadCorps, which wouldn't be a big deal for ArthasStroitHram at this point, because, well, they still have 2, so they are in the lead with this. But still, up to the top lane, Lolini gathering a few additional experience points. But this is a pretty interesting move there. Oh, stunning out Stitches for a second, or at least interrupting him for the tribute grab. And they settled for a very solid second option. They went straight for the boss, the alternative here for them. And that was a really, really nice one. So they get this one done as well. We're having the rest of them just like moving down to the bot lane once more. And yep, there we go. It's going straight for the Siege Shines. We're having, of course, also a boss taken by the red team now. I mean, MadCorps is, of course, very well aware of what is happening there and is taking a boss on their own. The problem for them is that their opponents are just so much faster, and with them already demolishing the bot fort, I guess they're going to keep going and try to force either a retreat at the top or take down one of the keeps. And after the last game, I highly doubt that the French team is going to allow that again. They already rotate back with Vala and have one of the heroes there. But now they need a bit more than that, because this is still a 5-man rotation that we're watching. And yeah, there is just no way. I mean, with the 13 talent, yes, but they need to move back, and they need to move back fast, and that's what they're doing. 4 heroes are here. Boss is moving in. And can they fight this? The stun! Kuni-chan is moving in. Starfall, and down goes Kerrigan. There was an important kill, and Unstable is going straight for his own ult. The kill against Rhaegar as well. I mean, these guys don't waste any time. 3 heroes down, and suddenly with the 13 talents on the board, both of them are going for this fight. But 8 minutes in, and we're going to see a keep fall. These guys, like, strategy... What? This is crazy. Never ever have you seen aggressive teammates like that in a final on the 3rd map. Like, no caution whatsoever, just going straight for it. Win it all or lose it here, and in the case of the Russian team, they won everything. They took the keep with their first boss here. They have now 8 minutes into the game, a keep demolished, the lane open, the boss lane open of all things. This is going to pressure the French team so much in the games to come. I mean, if you can take another boss, they will have to defend, and that tribute at the top, they will get it because Stitches is dead for another 3 seconds. 15 versus 13. The talents alone. STK is trying to move in. Oh my god, are they really trying to fight? They're doing it. They're doing it. Stitches is on the way. Do they get the damage in beforehand? No, they're not. Oh, that would have been the chance for them to get the damage in, but now they have to fight a 5 versus 5. Granted with a stat advantage, but still, this game is quite something. They give it up and it's 2 for 2. They don't take anything here. 2 tributes against 2. The 13 talents with the Shrink Grey, with Giant Killer on Vala. I mean, of course, it makes sense to go Giant Killer since she went for the right-click build, but this is just a crazy game. That early kill in the last fight to the bottom right against Kerrigan was the most important one. Getting her out of the picture soon after the fight starts is very, very important so that those stuns don't take you down and don't cluster you up for the rest of the team either. So in this case, very well done here. 16 talents all around the corner for the blue team, but I just love how aggressive these teams are in this game. It is just a pleasure to watch that. Usually it's really caution that rules the games for most of the team, but in this they're just like, alright, let's take it, let's just play it as aggressive as we can, and now they have the 16 talents. They got rewarded. It could have backfired, but it didn't. High risk, high reward, that was the play there, and they ran with it. Imposing presence on Arthas, we're having Stone Skin on Tychus, it is after Relentless on 13, Firestorm on Diablo, and Kerrigan with a double stun, but the Relentless solves. The Relentless easily negating this, but now the tribute, they have to get that. Oh, very nice owl. That was an owl without Pierce, by the way. That was the perfect angle for the owl. Kerrigan about to die. Kerrigan survives for a second, but then she drops. Stork is still alive. From the side comes Kuni-chan. He's trying to get another stun in. Moves in. Oh, the Rain of Vengeance was a bit too late. And here comes the Starfall, of course. JP, Jelek, whatever, he dies too. It is a 0 versus 4. 4 heroes killed. 12 kills against 4. Don't tell me they're going core. Do not tell me that they're going... Oh my god. No way. That would have been crazy. So yeah, they move back. They don't go for core after all, but they definitely scared them for a second. Yeah, wasting a bit of time, I'd say. But still, 17 versus 15, the extra talent. This game is something. This is really something. They were thinking about it and then realizing that 2 of the heroes would be back too soon. The death times are just not long enough yet, so that would make a difference. So right over here, we're having now gates taken. Everything completely dropped. The curse, of course, threatening them as well. And now they can move back. What about the boss? 20 seconds. Yeah, they can go for the boss if they want to. But they still have a talent lead over their opponent. And it looks like they want to drop another keep. And they're going for that. Kuni-chan on his Uther, healing himself here. Stork blocking at the front. They have a healing ward in position. Nicely blocked by Stork for a second when he was threatened. The keep, they won't be able to get that. Keep is down. And they're trying to get Yuki into a bad spot on Kerrigan. But with sprint... gets away. There's the stun against Vala. Vala dodging that too. Yeah, they should move back now. They have done a lot of damage to their opponents, and especially at the top lane, we're still having those siege giants take out 2 of those towers as well. 18 versus 16. That's the levels that we're having here. Arthas is doing a great team. The Russian team is playing this extremely well right now. Running with their advantage, and that's something that they're extremely good at. Taking a lead and then running with it. But right now they are playing once again the risky play. But they are getting rewarded. They get the boss and suddenly they have the bot lane pushing. And that allows them to go straight to the the top lane pushing, and they can now go to the bot lane and take another boss here. So yeah, like so much pressure against the French team. And I mean, MadCorps has played an incredible first game, and then the second one they had a very good position there as well, but they never really thought that the Russian team would be able to outpush them. But they did. Arthas outpushed them at the bot lane, and even that late attempt to just TP back and defend the core did not work out for them. In this case, Stitches not with a 16 talent yet. He could try and stun out the Nazebo ult, but I highly doubt that he's going to do that. He's trying! He's actually trying! He's not going for Fishing Hook, but he went for Pulverize instead. We're having Vala with also Executioner. The damage on her is absolutely unreal in this game. But it doesn't matter. She never really went into a position where they could do all that damage. Vala's on 30,000 with a right-click build. Oh, Andy Lendy, if they drop him, if they drop Nazebo, they might be able to do it, but no, Kerrigan dies. Andy Lendy, he could use his ult in a second, doesn't even have to. Vala just barely vaulting away. Oh my god! That Odin dropping her, and what a game! Holy crap! I mean, 4 heroes dead, and suddenly the Russian team, they went full berserk here. They went full berserk, like bloodlust, foam around the mouth. They went straight for the game. They dropped the core and they win the GO4Heroes final. Congratulations to Team Arthas. Incredible performance. They win it with a 2-1, take the final here and defeat MadCorps. Very well played. Incredible game by them.
What a crazy game that just was. An unbelievable finish to an already incredible best-of-3 series. That aggression in the early game alone, that top lane performance that we saw, with both teams just like at each other's throat, trying to get the kills in one after another. And I mean, Team Arthas, like the Russians in there, oh boy, I mean, they pushed them back the entire time, taking fight after fight, running with advantages, and never really giving up. An amazing performance by them, and I loved how they controlled the flow of the game. They were always playing the high risk, high reward game, and it played out for them. It completely worked. It was incredible. It was just beautiful to watch, and I hope that you enjoyed this series as much as I did. The French were doing whatever they could to push them back, but there was just nothing to do against them. They gained so much momentum, and they played nearly a perfect game here. Team Arthas with a great move there. They definitely deserve to win that final here with the performance, not only on the last map, but throughout the entire series, and they did extremely well. So congratulations to Team Arthas. I loved the entire series. I love casting it for you. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching the matches. If you did, make sure that you give the video a thumbs up on YouTube. Subscribe to Khaldor TV if you have not done that yet. We're definitely going to have much more of that in the near future here on the channel. And that's it for the day, guys. So I hope that you liked it, and well, enjoy your day. Have a great day. Bye bye.